Okay, so now we've started recording. Okay, so then now we say equals VL. I tab, then I hold Control A key. So I have this. I have the lookup value. The lookup value, like I told you, team, is a unique identifier. So being a unique identifier, it has the capability to fish out the information that we want. In this case, we have simplified it. We have used a name of an employee as a unique identifier. So that is what we have picked there. Then now we go to the table array. So the table array team, we are actually going to pick, and let's do it together. We are actually going to pick the whole range here from all the two columns that we have, the employee and the salary column. That is what we are actually going to pick. Let me know if you have done what I've done. But Alfred, have you done what I've done?
Yes, I have.
Now, after you've picked that, always make sure that your first, if you look up the lookup value here, the name Kapepe here, it rhymes with the first column of the table array where the employee names. If I go on the table array, if I pick the table and I start with a column that does not mirror with the lookup with the criteria in the lookup value, the function is not going to pick. So now after picking that, we know we have picked the table. So we go into the column index number. The column index number, guys, it's a very simple concept. All it is actually trying to ask you is to say, which column should we pick the information you need? So you could have a very big data set. Maybe columns go to 20 to 100 columns. Then the rows, they go maybe to 50,000 rows. But you need to actually instruct the function that this is what I want to pick. I want to pick in column 2 or column 3. In this case, what we want to pick is the salary, which is in column 2. So we'll say column 2 because you are starting with your employee. The way you count columns, you start from where your unique identifier is. So in this case, we are picking column number 2. Bolivia, Mwanutwa.
Oh, sure.
Alfred Muvela.
Yeah, we are together.
Please, we should be together. We'll move on with this VLOOKUP. We'll do a number of types of VLOOKUPs, the 3D VLOOKUP. I want you to be experts in VLOOKUP because most of the people in these organizations, they're experts in VLOOKUP and you think they know itself. No, they don't know it. They've just mastered one function. So now, understand this. Understand it so well. Amos, you are asking a question. Suppose in the last component, which is not mandatory, if we leave it blank, what happens? Check what is going to happen. Press OK. What has it picked? It has picked it has picked a salary for who?
For Kangwa Sampa.
For Kangwa.
Why has it picked for Kangwa?
Closest match.
Because here under Kapepe there's a K. It has found in Kangwa there's a K and A, and just picked that one because it's not an exact match. You get
so one is the default.
Not really that's the default. Not really that is the default. And I will show you how you can use this. And for you, Amos, you're going to deploy it immediately tomorrow as you go to the office.
Tomorrow. I was even doing Vlookup today.
That's very good. So now, if I change this to Milopi, check. It's still having, because you find that was here. Because if you look at this, it's looking for anything that is very close, but that's not what we want to do. So here now we'll say Milopi Livi. Now, let's go back to this function.
Sorry,
Let's go
I
back
have
to
a question.
Please, can go ask.
Yeah, I'm kind of lost. You know, in that table area when you said column number 2.
Mm-hmm. Column number 2, meaning that you are starting from here. Look at this is a name. So the table is this.
My internet is quite bad.
Oh, sorry. The table is this. First, you need to understand one thing. Let me just do this inside. So we have this, guys. When you open Kangwa, when you open this, the function.
Yeah.
When you open the function, we have opened it like this. So we have the lookup value here.
Yes.
We have the table array. Where is the table array starting from? It's starting from the name going up there. So you're actually saying which unique identifier are you going to use to fish out a name? You're actually going to use here.
Okay, yeah.
Fish out the salary. We're using names. But if we are starting with this table, what do we want to pick? Our ultimate objective is to pick the salary. So the salary is in column what from the unique identifier, or from a column that holds a unique identifier. The salary column is in column 2, so it's 1, 2.
Okay.
You get it, right? So
yes.
This is what we have. So we have the lookup value, which is the name. In this case, it's Milopi Living. The table array, which we have picked, and you need to make sure that the table array, the first column of the table array matches with your lookup value, where you're starting from. If it's the names, it's the names. So we have said column index is the column. This is a column where we want to pick the data that we want, and we want to pick it in column 2, which is under salary. Then we go to the range lookup, guys. Here under the range lookup, there's 0 and 1, or true and false. If you type in 0 there, and most people don't understand why they put in a 0 in a VLOOKUP function. Or when you ask, and I've done a lot of master classes, the number of companies, Ministry of Finance, Bank of Zambia, ZAMEF, I've done quite a number of them. When you ask them that, why do you put a 0? I know Vanati was a chabit kazika 0. Whoever taught them Excel, whoever taught them that function VLOOKUP, told them that they should put a 0. But a 0, it means exact match, meaning that if I'm looking for Amos Mwelwa, it should be Amos Mwelwa, not not Mwe. It should be an exact match. If I decide not to include anything there, I'm assuming that if I decide not to include anything, or I include 1, or I type 1, meaning that I'm saying anything that is closer, not an exact match, but anything. So now, here we're going to type 0. Let's type 0 because we want an exact match. You can type 0 or you can put false. It's all right. False is 0. 1, true is 1. Do you know that? False is 0, true is 1, and I'm going to demonstrate it to you just right now after we do this. So press OK. So now you start changing names here. You are going to see that it's going to change. Here under, if I want to do this. Don't do what I'm doing. So don't just do that. We'll have a lesson when we go to intermediate on formatting. So if I change this name, for example, I type Gapepe. It changes to 1000. You have seen, and it shows there. If I go from here, I type Kangwa Sampa. You can see it changes to there. We have, because we have put a 0, so it's picking an exact match. And most users of Vlookup, they put a 0 because they have been taught to put a 0. But what it means when you put a 0 or you type false, what you actually mean that you're picking an exact match. Manvera, guys, eh?
Yeah.
Amos, does it make sense?
Yes.
Now,
Yes, sir.
let me show you how you can use it, how you're going to deploy it immediately when you go to the office tomorrow. Then you can go on my YouTube account, check pay as you earn calculator. Go on my YouTube account, search for Fitzpatrick Kapepe, like my YouTube page, and go for 2 videos, the pay as you earn and pay as you earn calculator. Because I know as finance people, you normally use your pay as you earn, sometimes even just to calculate your own salary. So let's do this. Let's do this. We are still on basics. I know on pay as you earn, you look at the if functions, try to do whatever. But for now, let's do this. I guess you know the pay as you earn bands, 0 to what, Amos? 0 to what? For the tax free.
3,500.
3,300.
3.
It's what percentage? It's 0%, isn't it?
0.
Then
the next 800.
So here you do like this. +1. So there you have that plus 800, isn't it? Which is what percentage? Is it 25%?
Yes.
25, yes.
25%, right? Then here again, is it, what's the difference? It takes you to what?
2.9.
Yeah?
Is it 2.9 or 2.1?
4?
2.1.
Plus 2,100. You think so?
Let's confirm.
No. It's supposed to give you
2.9.
It's supposed to give you not 1, 2.
No.
It's not that. Just check. Does it take you to 6? It takes you to
Yes, it's
6.
It should be about 6-1.
It should give you up to 6-2.
Okay, so here, this is 3-1. Then here is supposed to be what? Is it supposed to be 4-2, like this?
3,000, 33.01 to 4-1.
To 4-1, not 4-2.
Yes, this one should be 4-1.
4-1.
Yes, because it's 800. Yeah. Then from 4-1 to 6-2.
From 4-1 to 6-2.
Yes.
Which is 2,100.
Yes.
Yes.
Like this.
Yes.
Yes.
Which
Then
gives you
above that,
30%. Then here,
yeah.
anything,
Yes,
anything above what? Above 6,200. So here I'll do like this. I'll start from here. So I'll say this plus 1. Anything above that is 35%. Right?
37.5.
Isn't it 35% or 37?
Yeah, it's 37.5.
37.5. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Okay. So now, see how it's going to work. We want to find the rate, which we are going to do our computations. Here, I'm not showing you the payroll, pay as you earn calculator, no, because that one will come into advanced. But I just want to show you how this percentage. Here, I'll say the rate, then there. Here, I'll show salary, for example. Just a very basic one, not that is very correct. But then I'll say, suppose someone gets 1,000. What is the last band? Here I'm looking at the last band. Please understand me, I'm looking at the last band, not the correct one. I'm looking at the last band, what I'm trying to do. So the last band in terms of the rate, here on the 1,000, it's going to be equals Vlookup. Just put a Vlookup. Say equals VL and tab. Equals VL and tab. Then press Ctrl A. Are we there, guys? Hello?
Hello.
Have you opened
Yeah.
the function argument box? Have you opened it?
Okay, I'm just trying to, I didn't type, I was learning what you are doing.
Yeah.
So
Okay, so let's see.
Also
So we are saying we
typing.
have a salary here, which is 1,000. We have a rate which we want to pick. And this rate, what I'm trying to do, I want to pick the last band. For example, if it's 1,000, the last band of 1,000 in terms of the rate is 0%. If I pick, say, the last band for 8,000, it's going to be 37.5%. That's what I want to pick. So have you typed, guys? Have you typed?
Yeah, we are. We have.
Okay. Now, we're going to the rate. We say equals. We want to find the rate for the last band. Equals Vlookup. So you just do VL, then you tab and press Control A, hold Control A, and you open like this, guys. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. Okay. So the lookup value. What lookup value are we looking at? We are actually looking at the salary, which is the 1,000 here. This will be our lookup value. So we want to understand that someone who gets a 1,000, what would be the possible last band? The rate for the last bond. Then we go to the table array. I hope you have done that. We go to the table array. We start from this. Let's pick the whole thing like that. Guys, have you done that?
All right.
Kangwa.
For me, the battery is low.
Oh, the battery
Power
is
is gone.
Oh, sad. Mr. Levy, your
Yeah,
battery
so I'm
is
just
still
trying to
strong.
follow what you're doing.
Okay, with the video, I think I'll send it. At least this one. Yesterday we forgot to record, but I'll still do some short recordings whenever I just find time, maybe tomorrow or so. But this one, at least, it's been recorded. Mr. Levy, are you on board?
Very much.
Okay.
Very much.
Okay.
Very much.
That's great. Alfred, have you done that? Have you picked? Are you following? And
yes, I've picked.
Okay, that's good. So now, Mr. Levy, how far are you?
I'm in the functional arguments.
Okay.
We are together.
Okay, so now we go to the column index. So can someone tell me which column we are going to pick here? It's column number what? Under column index, the output, because we want to find the rate. So what column number are we going to pick?
3.
Yes, column 3, because you're starting from B.
Yeah.
This is 1, 2, and 3. Yes, thank you so much. But deliberately, guys, we are not going to. Guys, we are not going to put under range lookup here. We're not going to put an exact match. If we wanted, we could type 1. If we wanted, we could just ignore, and we're going to ignore it. Because we want anything that is within the range. Because if we type the exact match, then we're going to have problems. Here, the exact match, it means that it should be 0, the 301, 4101, 6201. But we want variables, we want these numbers to be varied. So we're not going to put anything in there. And that is going to answer what Amos asked and how you can use it. So press OK. Press OK for me. I hope you have found. Just change this. That's 0.
Is 0.
Yes, then that's 0. Just go into that cell where you have 0. Right click.
Huh?
Where you have a 0, right click. Right click. I don't want to show you shortcuts. I'll show you later. Just right click and pick the percentage sign. Pick the percentage sign. If you don't want to do that, you can hold Alt H, then you press P. It's going to give you the percentage if you want a shortcut.
No.
So press the percentage. I'm sure you have the percentage there now.
Yes, we have.
Now start changing your salary and check whether the rate that you're going to get down there is the last rate, is the rate under a last band. or in the last band. Just try to do that. Let me know. Let someone tell me that, yes, what I've done, what I'm getting is correct or whatever.
My values are correct.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
Right, Kang?
Yeah, that's correct also.
Alfred, is it okay?
Yeah, it's correct.
Guys, you should not get tired. We have just started. This course might take
It's
about
correct,
2 months, every day meeting. I want you to be the best in this particular area. So now, if I change, I do someone who is getting, say, 500. I hope, Alfred, you're enjoying this. It will show 30%.
Yes, I am.
If we say, and you can see within 4,1 to 6,200 is 30%. If I say someone who is getting 10,000, what would be his last band? It's actually 10. It's a 30. Oh, sorry, I didn't put the decimals. Let me put the decimals. It's a 7.5. If I go on and say someone who is getting a salary of 3,400, how much does he get as the last band in terms of the tax rate? It's going to show 25%.
25%. Yeah.
So please, I'm asking you, when you go to my YouTube account, you just go to Google. Let me just share this so that you see what I'm trying to say. I recommend that you go. I know, Amos, you asked this question last time on NAPSA, on Pay As You Earn. So you go to my
on your YouTube page.
Yes. So I'm going there to my YouTube page. I'm going there just now. So do like this. I hope you're able to see that I'm going to YouTube.
Yes.
Have you seen I'm going to YouTube? I watch a lot of MMA, so if you find fighters there, just know that that's what I watch. I watch every day. I watch UFC. Yes, so I'm so addicted. Then now you pick my name, Fitzpatrick Kapeta. So are you seeing the Vlookup? The Vlookup, sorry, this Excel thing. Are you seeing the YouTube?
We go to the
Yes.
video.
So I'm just trying to show you.
Huh?
So
We
under
go to the
YouTube,
video.
but have you seen my YouTube thing? So if I check now
Yes.
here, I'll find a
Yes.
calculator. I just want to show you that you watch these 2 videos. Pay As You Earn. I have 2 things that I am calling Pay As You Earn calculator. I'm surprised I can't see it, but it's there. Let me do this.
And just click on you're on top there, go up.
Yeah?
Yes, you earn, you see.
Just go to your page. Click
I'm not
on your
getting-
page.
I click on my page.
Click your page.
Yeah?
Yes. Go on top.
Yeah?
Just click one of those, your presentation.
Okay.
Oh.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah, it's smart,
Then
yes.
try to go.
Okay, I've seen it.
Then try
You
to
can
go.
see. So you watch this Pay As You Earn calculator. You can watch the Pay As You Earn calculator. Then you can also there's another one on the calculator. So this one you watch this, then also watch the just Pay As You Earn. You'll see, you just watch those 2 videos. They'll help you to just understand what this thing is. Okay, we can go back to work. Okay.
Okay, all right.
So you have seen Amos. when you are supposed to use a 0 and when you are not supposed to. Let's look at this another scenario. You have same concept that they will use for zone of affairs for what is this thing? Airtel Money and all that.
Airtel
Where you're
Money.
actually saying, say, someone who is depositing or whatever or withdrawing maybe 1 to 100 kwacha, for example, you're saying the charges will be 5 kwacha. Someone depositing 101 to 310 kwacha, or maybe withdrawing, not really depositing, maybe withdrawing. So we have this. So now we're actually saying you are sending cash of how much? You are sending cash of 65 kwacha. What is the charge? I've put your formula here, but ignore it for now. So let's do this. Let's say equals Vlookup. We do the same thing. Vlookup. Control A. We open it. Let's open it, guys. Let me know if you have done that. Let me know.
Yes.
Yes.
So under lookup value, we pick here where it's sending cash the 65. You see the 65, which is H17. Pick
Yeah.
H17, guys.
Yes.
Then now we go to the table array. Because you'll be designing these things, maybe it could be your own business. You want to bring in discounts, you want to bring in charges and all these other things. So then we go to the table array. So the table array, guys, we're actually picking from here, like we did, from G10 to J13. That is what we are picking. From G10.
Yes.
Okay, are we there? Then the column index,
Yes.
it should be column what? Tell me something, it should be column what? Yeah?
This for charges, it will be column
Column
4.
3.
Is it 3 or 4? It's column 3. It's just that
Column
it
4.
looks like there are 4 columns. There are only 3 columns. Thanks, Mr. Lee. Mr. Lee, we have seen you're following closely and correctly so. I don't know how
Yes,
Amos
I
is
am.
missing it at Alfred. Is Kangwa still there? I can't see
No,
Kangwa.
no.
I'm here.
I don't.
Okay.
The
I don't
manager.
agree.
It's
I
column
don't agree
3.
with you.
You know why it's column 3? I'm
It's
able to see the output here. Column 4 is blank. Column 4 is K or whatever it is. It's not J. Because if you're
No,
starting from
maybe
G,
we're seeing different values. Let me see what you're
Yes.
seeing.
it is.
Is
Let
it
me
G2?
It's column 3.
let me just expand it. It's column 3. This is why it's giving you 100 down.
It is.
Let's go. Let's finish it. Okay.
It's no. It's column 4. It's column 4.
Yes,
Sorry.
it's
It's column 4.
Column 4.
Mr. Levy is column 4. No, it's column 4.
Because of the greater.
Yes, there's a
you put
greater.
column 4.
Yeah,
Yes, there's a
There's a
greater.
blank
There's a greater. Yeah.
There's a greater. Yes, so it's 4 because of that greater thing.
Almost I can see you were disobediently intelligent. You know, being disobediently intelligent is where you have traffic lights and you're trying to pass and you have been told that when it's green, you pass, when it's red, you don't pass, whatever it is. And you have seen that, yes, I'm supposed to pass, but there's a car that is coming and it's actually maybe at 150 kilometers per hour. You cannot pass as much as you have been given the green light to pass. That is what they call intelligently disobedient. So you are so disobedient. Thank you so much for that. And I think citizens have to be intelligently disobedient. So you press OK.
No,
It's 4. So press OK. So now check as you, for example, here sending cash between 1 to 100, you are charged 5. Put any number under this, type any number. I've typed 124, it shows that it goes to whatever. If I'm sending 1,000, I expect that I'll be charged 25.
okay.
So it shows
I'll
that.
type it. I'll put
So these are small
yes.
components that you need to have when you're creating your own models. When you come to financial modeling, here we're just dealing with Excel. Here we're just dealing with Excel, guys. It's a basic Excel. We'll go to intermediate. Like I've said, this is highly subsidized. Well, Alfred, you can never be that lucky. You've been too lucky. This one is so subsidized. I know the next class, it is going to be slightly expensive. The other class will be more expensive. So when we are done with all these functions, all these things that we're doing, then we say, now let's go back to the rules of financial modeling. How do we model these things? By that time, we would have understood, you know the functions. So I hope it makes sense up there. So we can go to B3. B3, what we want to do, there's a tax table here. It shows the tax codes A up to E. And all we're actually doing here, we want to be so exact. They are percentages. And what we are going to do, I told you that, let me explain this thing. You have false and you have true. False means 0. True means 1. If, for example, I say equals 5 times true.
Not the other way around.
5 times true, it will actually give me 5. If I come here and say equals true plus, again, true, it gives me 2, because true is 1. And this, when you're dealing with Excel, even just in programming, I've done Python, the concept is the same. You need to understand these things. If I come here and I type 5, for example, here, then I say equals 5 times false. It is going to give me 0 because false is 0. Move there, guys.
Yes.
If I come here, I type 5 here, and I come and say equals 5 times, then I open bracket, I say, I press true, then times 3. The answer is actually going to be 15. So the moment you understand this true and false, that true is 1, false is 0, then it becomes much easier for you as you deal with logicals, as you start developing models. You find the model where we put flags, we call them flags, and you put 0s and 1s.
So, question is, false and true, they do not form part of text.
No. No, but if I come here, they are inbuilt functions. They are inbuilt. If I say, is false text, it will tell me, yes, it is text. If I ask Excel, is this thing text? It's going to tell me it's not text. But if I say equals is value, so it's not. If I say it's not text, it will say yes. So it's true that false and true is not regarded as text in Excel. It is regarded as a value. Thank you so much for that, Amos.
Okay, great.
Because so I can use false or true to multiply things.
Yeah, unless it's part of another word.
Yes. So you will see when we go now to serious financial modeling, we'll be using these trues and false. If you find the financial model, they'll put true and false. Do not think it's just a text, it's a value. Because Excel assumes that if you type false, you have actually typed 0. If you type true, you have typed 1. So let's go this side now, guys. This is too basic. It's basic as basic. So we go to so we go to V1. You know, I've always, whenever I'm actually conducting master classes, I find there are a number of people who come into my master classes. Like I think for the one that I had for Zika, there were over 200 at Zika Accountants Park. Then now I would ask that on the scale of 10, how do you rate yourself in Excel? And people say 10, 5, 8, 10, 7. Then when I start doing these things, then I ask them after 1 hour, rate yourself. Then someone says 0 or 2. You know what I did to Zika, and I know I'm sure you'll be told by people who attended my master class. They had their own laptops. I created zeros and ones, numbers, just numbers. We created numbers. Then we put in number formatting. You know, with when you're dealing with anything that you look at here on Earth, it is represented in 3 numbers, 3 types of colors: green, actually red, RGB, red, green, and blue. So I put in my numbers, I put green, red, and blue. Do you know what they saw? On their screens, they were able to see my image, and they were so surprised. Then I asked them later on, can you tell me on a scale of 10, your level in Excel? For me, I regard myself, I don't know Excel. I know financial modeling, but to know financial modeling, then you're forced in a way to know Excel. But I wouldn't credit myself. Actually, I feel like someone is insulting me when it says, no, you're an Excel guru. No, I'm not an Excel guru, I'm a financial modeler. So now let's go to B1, guys. We say equals VLOOK. You can open Control A, open it. So what is the lookup value that we are going to pick? The lookup value is the tax code, which is in A1, in A3, sorry. Pick A3, guys. Pick A3. That is the tax code. Then now we go to table array. On table array, hello? Hello? Table array, are you following?
Yes,
Alfred, are you following?
Yes, we are here.
I'm surprised. Kango, are you around?
I'm around.
Okay.
You're too quiet, right? Is it because
Too
it's
quiet.
June?
You are too quiet, Kango. You shouldn't be too quiet. You shouldn't be that quiet. We know it's cold, but you shouldn't be that quiet. Yeah. So then now we
No,
have
I'll try to talk more.
okay, obviously tomorrow. So we pick the lookup value, A3. Then the table array. We go on to the table array. Just pick the table array from G3 to H7. From G3 to H7, pick that, guys. This is the last part of our lesson today.
Yes, we are done.
Then the column index.
Sorry, sir. Before we can move, maybe it's out of interest. You can teach us also how to do what do you call this? To look the functions. Absolute referencing, like just to look.
No, that one comes under intermediate. Everything is already programmed. You are dealing with basics here.
Okay, sir.
You're dealing with basics. Don't worry, you're dealing with basics. You go to intermediate, then you go to advanced, then you get into financial modeling and start looking at renewables. For those that are interested to make it to some money in renewables. So we go to column index. Column index, we pick column 2. But here, guys, we want to have an exact match. So the range lookup, type 0 or false. You can type false or 0, it's the same thing.
Okay.
Done. This is the last part. Done.
Even near the 15%.
Mr. Levy.
Yes, boss.
Are you done?
Yeah, I'm with you. I do okay?
Yes, press OK. Press OK. So, if you check.
It has given me 15%.
Yes, it's 15% B here.
For real.
So if you change that B, type what? Type any letter. Type any letter. type any letter. For me, I've typed D, should give me 42%. It's indeed 42%. If I go to, I type E, it should give me 47%. That's gonna give me 47%. If I go to F, it should give me NA. F is NA because it's not there on the tax code. If I type E, it gives me that. Alfred, is it okay?
Yeah, it's okay.
Very much okay. It's a nice thing, this one.
But you see, you cannot learn how to ride a bicycle without trying so many times. This video is going to be done. We are going to upload it on YouTube. You will have time to go through it. Do it as many times as possible so that it just becomes part of you.
Yeah.
You know, these skills, they are incremental. Sometimes you might not even know that you're actually adding on certain skills. But the more you do it, it becomes part of your culture and you become good. Okay.
Become a guru.
You become a guru. So tomorrow to be on Vlookup going the other side, yeah? So today, I would just want to thank you, but before I thank you, we always do a checkout. You cannot just, you book like a room at the lodge, then you just go. You know, you need to go to the reception and leave the keys. I leave the keys there. I leave the keys there. So you're checking out. So Kangwa, just tell us what you've learned, maybe what you haven't learned, maybe what you are happy and maybe what you're not happy. Just tell us your experience in this particular class. I know the time that you called me, wanted financial modeling. When I told you that it was online, you felt like it's something that it will be very difficult for you to start learning. But I look at online, which is even much better for me, for my students, than actually going into a hotel, because you are able to see me closed up than when I'm in a hotel, boardroom, whatever it is. So can you please check out and just tell me your experiences?
Okay, for starters, when I got in touch with you, I had this job opportunity that actually was looking for, like, they needed somebody who's good at financial modeling. So I looked at it myself, I was like, this thing I don't know. So if I'm going to go for interviews, I really need to prepare myself. So when I coach, I was like, I need to learn financial modeling. And then I spoke to a colleague who said, no, but financial modeling, first, you also have to learn Excel. You have to be good at it. Are you also good at it? I was like, no. I was like, no. Maybe keep, this man, you should actually attend the classes for you, because modern life now, everything has to, if you're an accountant, everything you have to know Excel, financial modeling. So I'm just happy I'm here, I'm learning, and I want to learn as much as I can. And so far, I can say it's going on well. Yeah.
Sure, thank you so much. So see you guys tomorrow. You'll receive the...
It's not talked about the lesson today. It's not talked about today's lesson. What else you learned today?
Yeah, today, what did you learn today?
Today, on Vlookup now, at least I know how to search, like which table, because previously, without that table coming up, you just click like equals Vlookup. So I didn't know where I'm supposed to fit in the figures. Now with that table popping up, now I understand, okay, so the main one is this one, then the second one, this one, then the column and what 0 is and what 1 is. That I've picked up. Yes.
Okay, thank you so much, Tim. We'll leave you in Dola. Keep yourself safe so that we see you tomorrow again. Thank you so much. And I know this class is going to grow, but like I've promised, I am not going to be excited with the numbers. Financial modeling is better kept under 10. So if I can have up to 10 numbers, that is fine. Then the next, again, every 2 months, I'll be introducing a different course. Maybe I'm not going to introduce a different course. I'll continue this course. Every 2 months, there'll be new cohorts. So you're the first cohort that, and you should be proud of yourself. You're going to learn a lot at a subsidized fee. Thank you so much and bye-bye.
Okay, thank you. Good night.
Thank you for subsidizing.